Hello and welcome again to this edition of Phi TV. I'm your host, Brad Swanson. We are coming to you from inside the Florida Capitol during the 2022 Florida legislative session. We are joined by none other than Representative Michael Grieco, who's here to talk to us about many issues, one of which is an anti-animal cruelty bill. Let's start there.
Yeah, so this is the second time we're talking about this, and I've brought my prop, which I was not allowed to bring into the actual committee room per House rules.
We're going to say somebody may have ruined that for everybody, but we're not going to call that person out.
No, we're not going to name names. But regardless, we're very excited. There's an animal cruelty bill that we filed. It has been gone through all three committees unanimously. It is ready for the House floor. We believe it's going to be moving in the Senate as well. It's in response to some tragic things that happened down in South Florida, just trying to increase some penalties on some issues. You know, animal abuse and animal cruelty, especially sexual animal abuse, is one of the first indicators that somebody's going to abuse children later on. So we're trying to prevent further tragedies, not just with animals, but with children as well.
Wow, I mean, it's such an important bill. You think about how, those are the indicators. I used to work in domestic violence. That was one of those other indicators as well. So that's for the ready for the floor. How's it doing in the Senate?
So I went to the Senate the Senate committee chair, and it was kind of unfair. I brought my dog with me, and I know he's an animal lover. So again, we're not naming names, but Burgess. But we're not. But we think we're good. We think we're good over there.
Right. It's a great reason, great cause. No one's going to push back against it. Okay. Surfside. Let's talk about what you're doing there, the street dedication. Tell us about that.
Right, so Senator Pizzo and I are sponsoring a bill that will rename the area of Collins Avenue, which is A1A, State Road, in support of the folks who passed, and to honor their memory. So the 98 folks who passed away in the Surfside tragedy last year will be honored with a street renaming, and that's actually something that was given to me by the speaker. So we're confident that's going to go through as well.
You get goosebumps. We had CFO Petronas on, and he's doing service coins for all the first responders that came in and did that ultra delicate search and rescue and recovery. Talk to us about the folks from Israel that came over and knew how to, with dignity, recover those fatalities. And I think the road naming is going to be amazing. I don't expect any challenges, do you?
No, we don't expect it. It's already gone through a couple committees. We feel confident on that. And, Senator Pizzo especially, he was there every day. And I was over there a few times, and it was just, heartbreaking.
I was down there the day it happened, and I just remember everybody in all walks of public service just canceling their day and being like, we're on site, let's go, how can we help? And it was a legitimate, everyone was wearing t-shirts and carrying water for the first responders. It wasn't an issue of grabbing press, it was an issue of helping those that are helping to recover. So thank you for what you did there.
Yeah, and we're hoping that it's more than just fluff. We want to also work on making sure that something like this never happens again. In South Florida, we have a lot of older buildings, a lot of underfunded condos, and we want to make sure that something like this never, ever happens again. But in the meantime, we want to make sure that we remember the lives that were lost.
For sure. All right, so you've got one other that you want to talk about. What's that bill?
CARD. So CARD stands for Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. It's something very close to home for me. This is a state program. This is not some 501c3. This is not some outsourced third party. This is an in-statute program. And unfortunately, they haven't received a funding increase in about 6 or 7 years. Wow. And since then, they have doubled the number of folks, the number of Floridians they are servicing. These are adults and children. This is in every university in the state. And we're simply asking for a funding increase. This is not some standalone appropriation. My name won't be on it, but this is the hill I'll die on, and I'm putting pressure on everybody on this.
To all the approach chairs out there that you've got to convince, we're putting our support behind that. I've got a nephew that's got autism, and it's an amazing reason to support the families and support the people that care for these kids and adults in the program.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons I'm up here.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for COVID, I think we would have pulled it off with Travis Cummings a couple of years ago, but we're back, and Trumbull and I have met on it. I've spoken to Randy Fine. We feel good about it, but you never know what happens in these last few weeks. But I'm gonna stay on this one.
Well, record budget. Hopefully, that means record funding.
I hope so. I hope people don't shirk back on the. It's recurring funding, but this is important. Even if you got to talk about numbers, there's a huge ROI on making an investment in children who are in the autism spectrum in hopes that they can be fully functioning Floridians.
Well, Representative, thanks for coming on. Thanks for fighting for these great bills. Thanks for bringing. What's the dog's name?
This is Zeus.
Zeus. You've been on before, but I forgot. My apologies, Zeus. Zeus, thanks for coming on. Now, when you're at home and you're taking your mind off the cares of the world and what you're doing for everybody in your district, what does Representative Grieco stream with your wife and your dog and the family? What do you watch to take your mind off things?
Ozark, man.
You're a dark person. You're a dark person, but that's okay. Dark entertainment person, that is. Thank you for everything you do. Thanks for being so great on the show. We appreciate it. Thanks. That's all the time we have for this episode of Phi TV. Make sure you hit us up for more great interviews like this one on our social media feeds. And for now, thanks for tuning in.